Hey there, fellow breathers. Monster Breath here. Alright, welcome to my very first episode of Anything Ever. This little series will be Fantasy EPL. So, without further ado, we will head straight in to compiling a team. I'll be actually doing this for the first time on the official Barclays Premier League website. Got invited by a few friends actually over in England, and it should be a bit of fun. So let's get into it. Alright, so here we are at the goalkeepers, and I think, as you can tell by the shirt I'm wearing, that I'll more than likely be going for David De Gea. Obviously quality goalkeeper, and quite assured between the sticks. So David De Gea, obviously a easy choice, being a Man United supporter, unashamedly, and also just is undoubtedly quality. I'm also going with Gomez. Good budget option. I think everyone's fine with that. I think he's quite a good goalkeeper. He is known to have a bit of a faff every now and again. Needless to say, for 5 million here, he will do. He'll rack up some points for me, even on the bench. Time for some defenders. Robert Huth, obviously reigning Premier League champion, will be out for the beginning of the season, so probably won't be one I'll have in my team straight away. Could be one later on, but I'll have to wait and see. Hector Bellerin is a quality choice. With 15 slots available and 100 million to spend, it averages out to be 6.6 pounds per player is the allowance. So you could get 6.6 for every player and fill up your squad on average. Having that been the case, we're going to go with Hector Bellerin. Pacey player, probably the fastest in Arsenal. Had a great season last season. And at 6.5, he'll do quite nicely. Fuchs, being half Austrian myself and also being a reigning Premier League champion, the case makes itself. Should be great in my team. And a 5.5 is quite cheap. I think few have the same sort of expectations of Leicester going in this season. There's very few people thinking they can get back to back. Nevertheless, he will be getting me a few points. They'll be busy in defence. He'll be getting plenty of points provided he stays fit. I find defenders always hard because you just need players that are going to play every week and not concede too many goals. It's really all about you're looking for. And I'm going to go with, I think, Eric Bailey for this one. It'll be interesting to see if he plays. Such as the market now that a team like Man United can spend in excess of £30 million and have him sit on the bench. But I'm going to take that risk with this one, and hopefully he does the job for me. He did very well in his first pre-season run out. I think most people might have seen that little flick he did over the top to take the ball away and just diffuse the situation. Did well. Jose Fonte, another partnering him in defence. Just coming back, a Euro win with Portugal, and is a strong reason as to why when Southampton made the jump up to the Premier League and stayed up in the Premier League. Quality player, perhaps slightly underrated, but not by me, so that's why he's in my team. Fernandez in, just to round out the defence. Probably will be playing every week and is a great budget choice at 4.5. He'll probably be staying on my bench along with another defender, so 3 at the back. Ozil is a shoe-in for my midfield. At 9.5, he's a bit pricey, but there's no doubting he was probably the best midfielder of the Premier League season last season. So no arguments there. I'm going to add Payet. He speaks for himself. He had a great Euro competition. Did really well with West Ham. A lot of the reason why they finished 5th, I believe, last season. And just a quality player. 29, probably turning 30 soon. Doesn't have many seasons left, but in his prime at the moment, one of the best players in the world. Mark Noble, a good choice. He's the poor man's Paul Scholes, is the way I see him. Tireless worker, but gets the job done. Instead, I'll probably go for Eric Dyer. He'll get me a few points. He played quite well last season, and at £5.5, he's pretty cheap. Tottenham obviously doing very well last season. If he gets games, he'll be getting me points. Simple as that. Eric Dyer in the team. Mane is a good option, but a bit expensive at 9. He'll probably do well at Liverpool. I was a fan of his back when he was playing in Austria for Red Bull Salzburg. Great player there. Obviously made the move over to the Premier League, and now given a chance at Liverpool, which, even though I'm wearing this red Man United shirt, Liverpool's still a club which he'll do well at. Speaking of that, I'm going to add James Milner. Just a workhorse in midfield. Tireless worker. Will probably play most games for Liverpool. Liverpool obviously will be winning more than they lose, hopefully, especially under Jurgen Klopp. It's more of the head than the heart on that choice. Willian. It's Willian. It's Chelsea. Be an interesting season for Chelsea this year with Antonio Conte taking the helm there. Was probably a great choice for Chelsea since they used to park in the bus. Antonio Conte being quite a good defensive manager, but not to take away from his attacking either. Really great manager. It's going to be an interesting season with Mourinho, Klopp, Conte, and of course Guardiola at City. Especially with the teams like Man United out to prove a point that they are still demand the respect of their opposition. Something that's probably been lost in recent times. They better get back up there. In saying that, I haven't picked many of their players. Deeney, he'll be playing every game. As long as he's fit, he's playing, and he's scoring goals as well. Might not win a majority of their games, but as far as Deeney's concerned, he'll probably be banging them in, regardless of the 3 points or not. So as far as the makeup for my team, he'll be getting me points. Striking options, such an important choice as far as getting your points goes. Looking for Ibrahimovic at a pricey point at 11.5, as we quickly saw there. It's turned me off a bit. Lukaku, obviously a strong player. Meatbag, just really strong. Scores the goals for Everton. If he isn't, no one is. Great player. And that's why he's in my team. Another Watford player here in Ighalo. Also great player. 16 goals last season, which is quite a good turn-in. But we'll see, just to round out the team. Rashford, probably do well, but won't be probably that consistent player that's playing week in, week out, especially with Ibrahimovic on the scene now at Man United. Martial is probably still ahead of the pecking order for him. He'll be a great cup competition. I know Mourinho likes to field out his younger players to get experience in the cup competition. So there's still a good season ahead for Rashford, I believe, at Man United under Mourinho, but probably not too much in the Premier League. Middlesbrough, new guys on the block. I have a soft spot for Middlesbrough. Not really sure why. I think it's because good old Australian goalkeeper Mark Schwartz has spent a fair bit of time there during his career, so there's a little bit of a soft spot. As you can see here, signed Alvaro Negredo in the off-season, Spanish striker. Played for City, of course, previously in the Premier League, so he's got that Premier League experience. Should have his place nailed down for Middlesbrough. And is also quite that strong target man up front, so he should be a quality signing for Middlesbrough. And personally, I hope they stay up. It's great to have them back in the Premier League, and he's hoping they do well. All right, let's try and put Ibra in the team. So we've got Ibra now. 11.5. It's only giving me 5.5 left. It's a hard call. There's been a bit of speculation as to exactly how well he'll do in the Premier League, being 34. Obviously, the one thing he doesn't lack is confidence. Talking about Zlatan Ibrahimovic here. He's baning goals in France, obviously, for fun. But Premier League is a step up. Whether you like or you dislike Ligue 1, this is the Premier League. He'll be given a tougher time for sure, especially by those physical defences that you typically find. Still, he'll do well, but he won't be, and this is coming from a Man United supporter, won't be as regularly scoring as he's probably used to. Either way, he'll be supported quite well. Dropping Lukaku is a big call. Probably actually put him back in. Ibrahimovic, despite being a great player and will no doubtly score goals and will be the main man for United this season up front. You just get that feeling. Yeah, there's just... You just know that he'll be right. But at 11.5 million, I have a feeling his value will decrease a little bit over the season, especially as he starts to get used to the Premier League. He won't get that flying start, and he will drop. So I'll take him out for now. I think I'll be putting in Lukaku again at 9 million. He's worth 9 million. Just to round out my scoring options now. Tricky. I'll probably put Ighalo in. And just really... 16 goals last season. From memory, and this is FIFA, so it's not real life, but he is a beast in FIFA. Very strong. He'll be able to cope with the Premier League defences quite well. Whether or not he bangs them in, we'll have to just wait and see. There's no doubt that he, especially on a Watford sort of level, he'll be doing alright. I'm hoping Negredo is a little bit of my secret weapon in this year's Fantasy League. He should increase in value and hopefully do quite well for Middlesbrough. So that is my team for this season's Premier League. I will have to say, between recording this video and doing post-production editing, I did change someone. I did drop Payet. I've put in Mkhitaryan for him. Exactly the same value in the market on the Fantasy League. They're probably quite comparable players as well. Mkhitaryan, probably more of a harrier, and is happy to run up and down the pitch, and I think will be a great acquisition for United this season. Like a Mata that's happy to run. Not taking away from Mata, he's an excellent player, and hopefully he stays this season. Heard Everton might get him, and if he goes, it would be a great coup for Everton. But for me, Mkhitaryan will be a great player for United this season. Yeah, hopefully he's that creative force in midfield that we've just been lacking lately. So he finds his way into the team instead of Payet. Payet, of course, is playing Chelsea in the first round, whereas Man United are playing Bournemouth. So despite Chelsea, West Ham, I do tip Chelsea. However, it'll be a close one. It wouldn't surprise me if West Ham came up on top on that one. Bournemouth, however, although Man United have a bad track record against lower teams in the opening parts of the season, I'm looking at you, Burnley, we should come out on top there. It should be a very interesting season this season. Feel free to comment below. Let me know maybe your fantasy teams and what site you might be playing on, and who it is that makes your way into your team. Also, who do you support, and how do you think the Premier League season is going to go this year? I have a feeling United won't win this season. I think we might get second. Chelsea will be interesting. Conte is a great manager, and they've got a half-decent squad. It's pretty good, I'll give them that. If Conte can get the most out of Hazard or not, if they can, they should have a good season in front of them. If not, well, they've always got Pedro. See if he actually turns up as well. This has been Monster Breath. If you've liked what you've seen, click the like button. Make sure to comment and subscribe, and yeah, until then.